You've got dwarf, shorty.
I've been called banana legs.
Oompa Loompa.
Littlun, nipper.
Pipsqueak.
There are 66 million people living in the UK, and just 7,000 of us have the rare genetic condition of dwarfism.
The one that's universally hated is the M word.
Midget.
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 Midget. I think it's quite unanimous that everybody hates that word.
In this new series, we follow the ordinary lives of extraordinary people.
Thank you very much for the support coming out.
What can I say? I'm a charmer.
Whose short stature gives them a unique perspective on life in Britain.
People have always shied away from me due to my condition.
You do get people take photos of you.
This young girl said, "Mummy, it even wears high heels."
This time, the little Britons confronting prejudice and taking on the world.
What do we want?
Little people who are chasing big dreams.
You just got to keep trying and trying and trying, and one day you'll break that door down.
We follow the teenage cook who wants to make it in the cutthroat world of fine dining.
Oh, this came out the wrong end.
Will Britain's only dwarf drag queen hit the big time at the world's largest arts festival?
Now to you, that's a shot. To me, that's a pint.
And can a woman with dwarfism make a success of designing high-end fashion for the little people of Britain?
My big dream is making possible the impossible.
Worcester in the West Midlands.
So you go, oh my God, geez, what are you doing with your fingers there?
Louis Makepeace is 18 years old and has dwarfism, a condition which means he's 3'10",
Oh, no, now it's getting itchy.
nearly 2 feet shorter than an average height person.
I am this height at the end of the day. There'll never be a change. So you've just got to embrace it and do what you still want to do, even if you're 3'10". Right, guys, I know I look really bad, but I've just literally woken up. I've had to throw a hoodie on. I kind of just wanted to talk to someone, and I felt that with YouTube, you could just sit there and talk to someone without them judging you, because of course they're not in the room, you just talk to the camera.
First you have to add your flour
And your water.
into a bowl.
I definitely feel like food is, it's just my life. That's my relationship with it. It's always just been a thing for me, like watching Mum in the kitchen from a young age.
He's got that passion, he's got that interest, he'll read the books and he will follow people on YouTube and watch how to do it. And he gets really excited about the food.
I've got the talent, I just need the skill, I just need someone to teach me, really.
Louis wants to be a chef, so applied for a place at his local catering college.
They'd give me a one-to-one interview. The first thing he said to me was, "Why are you taking a course where you'll never have a future in this industry?" And of course that being the first thing he said to me, of course, really affected me. And I felt he didn't want me there for a start. I just didn't feel comfortable in the situation.
The college deny refusing Louis a place on the course. They claim his dwarfism meant safety adjustments to the kitchens were needed before an offer could be made. But Louis disputes their version of events.
It kind of just brought me back to the reality that I would never get anything in my life and never get anywhere I wanted to be, because it kind of, I've been knocked down my whole life, and always been told that I would never have a career.
A family member took Louis' story to the press. The public response was immediate.
I can't believe how viral this has gone. I literally thought when we were telling South West News about it, I literally thought it was going to be one photographer and that was it. And it was just some papers that just go in papers, but literally it's gone all over social media.
Publicity is breathing new life into Louis' dream. There are more than 300 types of dwarfism, with achondroplasia being the most common.
Right, okay, well, it looks fairly simple, as they always do.
Mary Russell is 50 years old and lives in London.
So the best thing is at least take all the parts out, Mary.
She's 4'1" and shares Louis's form of dwarfism.
Just by design is what makes living in this world difficult for a person with achondroplasia. It wasn't built with us in mind. It's just this screw that I never undone. Oh, the simple things. Patient man rides donkey. My mum used to always say to us. The funny thing is, I wouldn't change it for the world. If there was a pill that could change me, I might do it just for a day, just to see really what it is like. But I definitely want to return back to this being. One of the top problems that comes up within the little people world, if they're not talking about medical side, they're talking about clothing. It's a bit high. And I don't have my stool. No. Oh, I did actually get it. God, that was a stretch though. This would most definitely have to be shortened. That's how much we'd have to cut off. I want to be able to shop off the peg, just like everybody else does. But unfortunately, I'm denied that opportunity. The dress is beautiful, and I could be made to feel beautiful in this dress. So I don't see why the girl shouldn't be able to go to the ball.
But if that's going to happen, Mary will have to achieve her dream of becoming the UK's very first fashion designer for people with dwarfism. She's now set to launch her own fashion range called Magdalene, making glamorous clothes for little women.
This is where it all begins, with a blank piece of bleached cotton. It would be great if I could actually get my own fashion line. And from there, I mean, who really knows? The fashion world is a very big world. It's known for being quite snooty and not inclusive. I'm hoping to be a contender, a serious contender as well, not a gimmick. These are real designs that I'm creating with real women in mind.
Mary's designing a special dress as the centrepiece of her first collection, which she hopes to launch at a pop-up shop in her hometown of Huddersfield in Yorkshire.
My big dream is making possible the impossible.
Coming up, the man who's 4 feet 8 inches tall and hoping to make it big in showbiz.
There is, as far as I'm aware, no other dwarf drag queen in the UK.
You've not shaved your armpits in a week, look at that!
And we see how Louis's initial rejection leads to a culinary adventure of a lifetime.
I've skipped college and now I'm getting trained by a Michelin-starred chef. I just can't believe it's really happening.
"18-year-old Louis Makepeace from Worcester has dwarfism, and when he applied to train to be a chef at college, he claims he was told he would never get a job. It's an allegation the college deny, but it wasn't long before his story made its way around the world.
I got 52 likes and there's 43 comments and I got 98 shares on that. So 98 people shared my story. It was just crazy how the story just got picked up within an hour, and then of course from then I got interviews in the BBC News. Of course the ITV News came around the same day, and then of course the next day I was on This Morning.
Are you good at sampling what you cook, Louis, are you?
Well, I tend to go to Italian restaurants, kind of get the recipe, don't ask what the ingredients are, and then try and cook it at home, and then go back and then ask the ingredients and see if I've got them right.
There you go.
It's been like in Spain, Greece, Turkey, China, Japan, India. The amount of messages I've got from people all over the world, and I've had to translate what they've sent me. Everyone should be able to get an education and live out their dream. That's what someone said from Denmark. Someone put, can't believe this is happening in today's world. This college does not deserve you, Louis. You will succeed no matter what you do or wherever you go. It's been amazing because, of course, I felt that people have always shied away from me due to my condition, but I feel like now people are coming up to me and feeling free to have a chat, and that's all I've ever wanted. All I really ever want just to talk to people.
One of the messages Louis has received is an offer of work experience in London, which he's decided to accept.
Get your stuff. You didn't take a coat? You might be cold later. It might be...
I don't think I will. I'm not sure. I might put my jumper in the car.
Okay.
Just because, of course...
I think you should take something.
I'll take my hoodie, just to put it in the car, but I might take a packet of crisps on the journey.
Yeah.
Just because...
What happened to your chewing gums? What happened to those?
I don't know.
Okay.
Louis's parents are both average height, and he's been brought up by his mum, Pauline.
Mum thinks the world of me, and of course never wants anything to happen to me. I think, of course, my restricted growth is definitely another reason of why she's so protecting, but it's always just really been me and Mum, so of course she's really all I've got in this world.
I just want to keep him at home. I wish he was just going to college. I wish he was just going to work just in the centre of town, and I was picking him up and dropping him off, and he wasn't going to be going anywhere out of my sight. But I can't have that.
Louis is about to make the long journey to London for professional training in a high-end restaurant.
I feel like if I didn't have dreams, then I'd dwell on my restricted growth too much. I want to always go higher than my ability, so I feel like that will really test my confidence and test me as a person.
Chasing a different dream is Jamie John. He's 30 years old and from Great Yarmouth in Norfolk. Jamie is 4 feet 8 inches tall, and his dwarfism has resulted in him having bowed legs and a curved spine.
There is a lot of fighting to be able to achieve the dreams you want due to your height. But it's the willpower and the strength that you want to be able to reach those dreams, so you're going to do what you can to do them. I've performed all over the UK. I've performed in Gran Canaria, I've performed in mainland Spain. I go on stage and I give my all. I put my passion and drive into it. With pushing for my dream, I'm not really thinking about what could happen to my body. I'm a dwarf drag queen, which is somebody who dresses up as a female or a clown in a gown, some would say. There is, as far as I'm aware, no other dwarf drag queen in the UK. So now it's the makeup time. I quite like this part. It's where it all comes to life. Miss DQ, the birth of Miss DQ. Well, she started as a toddler when I was wearing my mum's shoes and things like that, as you do, and putting makeup on with my mum, and like any child does, I suppose. Just break in and have a look. She's ready!
Miss DQ has been a regular on the UK drag scene for the past decade. His act has built a loyal following, with 2 of Jamie's biggest fans being close to home.
It's my mum and stepdad are coming, and it's really nice to see them in the audience and to see them showing their support and to have them there.
Good evening, Marino, make some noise! Can you give me a cheer if you've seen me before? Now, all the straight ladies here tonight, make some noise! We can tell you're straight, love, you've not shaved your armpits in a week, look at that!
My father was an entertainer and an actor. It was him that got me into entertainment. His name was John. A dwarf, the same as myself. He'd done stage and screen, he'd done marathons of pantomimes over the years. And that's what I wanted to do, and follow in his footsteps. He passed away while we were doing a production of Snow White. During rehearsals, he died of a heart attack. Having lost Dad in the circumstances we did, I think every performance I do is for him. Every show I do is in memory of him.
I must follow him.
But Jamie's aware his condition may end up hampering his dreams of stardom.
I think as I get older, there are going to come the issues with my physicality. And there are going to be the unfortunate times where I'm not going to be able to do what I'm doing fully as I am now. There is a candle burning, so to speak, but I'm the only one that will be able to know whether I've pushed it too far or not.
Good night, God bless!
Yeah, I'm good, yeah.
You like it?
Absolutely fantastic. You rocked it. Absolutely fantastic.
You surprised?
Oh, yeah.
Tonight has gone so well. New live, a few new numbers. It's gone really, really well.
Jamie longs to take his act out of the pubs and clubs and onto the big stage. An upcoming gig at the world's largest arts festival could be the key to success.
Edinburgh Fringe for me is a very big thing and has really shook me with regards to the show and myself and how I'm going to be able to create a show for Fringe and give Fringe what they want.
With Jamie's mother being average height and his late father having achondroplasia, there was a 50% chance that Jamie would share his dad's condition. It's a consideration for anyone with dwarfism.
I always knew I wanted to be a mom, but I never knew if it was going to ever happen. With me having achondroplasia, there's instantly a 50-50% chance that my child will have it. Culinary place, I was routinely scanned literally every month. And then we got to the 6-month stage and it went boom. The gynecologist told me, yep, he's got just like that, he's got achondroplasia. I've got my last season's collection and new season's collection. What do you think?
I like this one.
Mary's son Reese is now 21 years old and is 4 foot 3 inches tall.
I like all of them, but I mean, don't know. And the fabric, no.
Like his mum, Reese wants to pursue his own dreams, but right now his main concern is simply getting a job. And as for many people with dwarfism, it's been a real struggle.
Do you want me to make you a
No, I'm alright.
jacket
I'm alright.
one day?
I'm okay.
Because I think you
I'm
need
okay.
to...
I've been job hunting for about 3 months, but I haven't been successful, so I'm still job hunting at the moment until I get maybe lucky or someone wants to take me on. I'd say that it's my dwarfism that lets me down with the job hunting and whatnot. Because even maybe something like stacking in Sainsbury's or whatever, they wouldn't necessarily think to give it to me because, of course, height will be involved and whatnot. What I used to do is apply for one, and I'll be waiting for maybe a week. I'm wondering why has no one got back to me. Whereas now, I apply for loads, still don't get the job, but at least I'm getting responses. You just gotta keep trying and trying. And one day you'll break that door down and things will be much easier. That's how I see it in my head. I don't know if it's true, but we can only find out by trying. Hence why I'm doing that.
There's so many 9 till 5 jobs out there that would be so apt for little people, but there's always the first hurdle of the meet and greet, first interview. Because sometimes, not all the time, do you say in your bit that you're a dwarf, and you'll turn up to the interview and they won't be expecting a little person. And you can sense within that interview that you've not got the job purely because you're a little person. What did you tell me the other week?
What?
You make a really good-looking woman.
Yeah, you do, actually. Yeah, you do, yeah. You've rubbed me wardrobe many a time. You took me shoes, you took me dress. What makeup have you got? Let's have a look, yeah.
As I was growing up, I didn't feel I fitted in with people. Bullying started when I was young. Mainly started in, I'd say, middle school.
Because Jamie is little and everyone is normal size, it's a case of, you know, it was that one impact of, right, he's different, we're going to do this, we're going to do that.
I used to get pushed around and thrown to the floor or pushed to the floor and...
Pinned up against the wall and
pinned
stuff.
up against the wall just for the sake of it, like I'd done nothing wrong, but they'd pin me up against the wall just to prove how tough they were in front of their mates and things.
Exactly, yeah, and that's unacceptable.
Yeah. I thought to myself at one point, you know what, they're laughing and they're taunting and they're bullying me because I'm different to them and they don't like it. And they don't like the fact that I've always been told, my late father would always say, you're unique. So don't let anybody stop you from being who you want to be.
Teenager Louis Makepeace is making his second ever visit to the UK's capital. He's set to receive hands-on training in one of the country's leading restaurants.
I've skipped college and now I'm getting trained by a Michelin-starred chef. It's just amazing. I just can't believe it's really happening.
Peter Terre holds 1 Michelin star, an accolade only afforded to the very best restaurants. Head chef Azimakis Chaniotis has worked here for the past 7 years.
The pressure is quite high, so you need to always be here, make sure that always you reach the standards for the restaurant, make sure that every dish is immaculate when it's going out. It's a very hard work.
So today will be a stern test of Louis' culinary skills.
Okay, so we need to dice some kohlrabi. You're going to take one here, and you're going to make perfect slices, like this.
At just 18, Louis is being introduced to fine dining cooking techniques he could only dream of learning in college. But is being just 3'10" in a busy kitchen really an issue?
Well, practically all I had in that kitchen was a step. They did put 3 steps there, which I did think was too much in the kitchen, because of course the kitchen was quite small. I felt like I only needed the 1 step.
The most important thing is salted water. It's quite hot, be careful. It needs to be salty. It needs to be salty, yeah.
It's just amazing. I've never cooked like this before, so it's good to learn like new techniques, of course, and it's like experimental. Just amazing, because then I get to try like new things.
But long term, will Louis' height be a barrier to him pursuing a career as a chef?
You have chefs working with 1 hand. Like it's not a problem. As far as he wants to become a good chef, he'll become a good chef, regardless. He'll find his way.
I just thought I was going to be just getting in the way, but like I just feel I haven't been doing that. I've been doing jobs like this, I've been doing fine, I was over there and I wasn't in the way, so I'm just really happy.
Oh wow, so nice, isn't it? Like proper caviar.
Louis' next test is plating up a dish to this restaurant's exacting standards.
Our duty as chefs is to make sure that the food is tasty. And now we have to make this dish look right. And now we're going to finish the dish with a few edible flowers. You make sure you put them nicely on top of the dish. And here we go. That's our Scottish scallop ceviche with kohlrabi, Manos and vinegar, kale, and crispy quinoa. So let's try this, huh? Here we go. Dig in.
I know what you mean about the balance of flavours, of course, the acidity and then the sweetness of
Yeah.
the scallop. That's very nice.
Very good.
Thank you.
Well done, mate.
Working with Azimakis was just amazing. Like, I loved it. It's just a life-changing experience, I think. Just to like actually be in that kind of environment with my height, of course, and being told I'd never work in that kind of environment, and to actually work in it, it's actually amazing for me.
But Louis faces further tests to see if he really has what it takes. Coming up, Mary takes her campaign for equal fashion rights to the streets.
I would like one day that the high street become inclusive.
And Louis faces another daunting culinary challenge.
Oh, this came out the wrong end.
This is a design that I'd like to bring to life. I just like the idea of volume. When I was younger, I was in town shopping with my friends, and I'll never forget this young girl. She turned to her mum and she said, "Mummy, it even wears high heels." And I'll never forget that, because that for me was her definitely saying that I was not a person. It being the key word. It even wears high heels.
Pure London is the UK's leading style trade event. Mary is here with lecturer and fashion industry mentor, Lorraine. Being new to this world of glamour, Mary wants to better understand the challenges she'll face in getting her designer clothes to the little people of Britain.
I struggle with the title fashion designer. Is that really me? Can I really become one of them? Yeah, I keep saying to myself, shall I stop now before it gets too serious?
You can have a dream about where you would like to.
Karen Franklin is an icon within the British fashion industry. She's also a champion for diversity.
The space in which you thought, yes.
Am I being realistic to think that the fashion industry is ready for somebody like me with restricted growth?
So the individuals who have drives to make something happen are the ones that, to a certain extent, educate the rest of the industry and the human beings within it. And bottom line is, if there is money to be made with a niche offer through business, then on paper you already have certain attributes for success because you know what's needed.
You've just absolutely given me that buzz, that extra cherry on the top of the cake that I needed.
Well, I'm really thrilled because I'm very excited about your journey, so I will be following it. So I'm following you on Instagram now. You know that, don't you? Yeah.
It's definitely been a lesson from start to finish. To have somebody give you that valuable expertise. Yeah, it does start looking less like a dream and more like a reality, and that's pretty scary.
Finally!
Today, Jamie John is making the 350-mile trip from Norfolk to the world's best-known arts festival in a bid to break into the big time.
Edinburgh, I was approached on social media by the owner of the bar that I have worked in before, asking if I'd be interested in it. The show from Miss DQ is a big thing because it's ticketed and it's also pay on the door. So it's scary in the sense that I don't know how many people are going to come and see the show.
For the past 60 years, the Edinburgh Fringe has helped launch the careers of Graham Norton, Miranda Hart, David Walliams and Steve Coogan. Jamie is hoping he'll be next.
The Edinburgh Fringe brings people from all over the industry, and it'll only take one person who is in that audience, that could be an agent or a producer or a director, that likes what they see. That in itself is nerve-wracking, which is why I'm having to put 110% into this brand new show for it to work. I think Miss DQ will give it her best shot. You cannot not be ready, I don't think.
What are you going to be up to today, do you know?
No. Maybe some running games.
Meanwhile, there's great news in the Russell household. After months of searching, Reese has finally found a job working with school children.
I bet half of them are taller than you, aren't they?
They love the height comparison.
What, they actually measure up to you?
Yeah, they
Do
think.
they? What do they say?
They think they're taller than me, but
They want to see if they are.
but most of them ain't yet.
Fit for Sport is aimed at educating and engaging kids through physical activity.
Line up against the fence. Come on.
Reese is now one of their activity leaders.
Everybody back in. A miracle must have happened. Basically, I woke up and I got an email saying, "Oh, we'd like to offer you an interview," and I just explained my difficulties and whatnot, and they was willing to take me on. They always ask me why you're so small, but you just gotta tell them God made me like that. So yeah, but it's going pretty well. Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him! Ah.
Reese may have found work, but the pressure is still on for his mum Mary. With the launch of her new fashion range fast approaching, she's in a race against time to finish her show-stopping dress for the big occasion. Meanwhile, in another part of London...
Okay, and let me sort this out, because I don't know how I'm going to do it now. I'm going to find a way.
Following a successful first day, Louis has returned to Pied à Terre for another cooking masterclass with head chef Azimakis.
Okay, cool. Good luck.
See you later.
Yes, gonna be fine.
Today's challenge will see Louis represent the restaurant in a London street festival, serving Michelin standard food. But since Chef Azimakis has a kitchen to run, Louis is left to do everything by himself.
I've got a pipe avocado and creme fraiche mousse on top of the crab, and then I've got to decorate it with edible flowers. It's going to be a great learning experience because I've got to stop flies getting on our food and I'm outside. I've got to remember a lot of things and it's going to be tough, but I'm going to make sure I do it properly.
This will be the first time Louis has served food to anyone outside his friends and family.
It's basically crab dressed in this olive oil, which is sourced in Greece. Yeah, I'll give you a spoon. Yeah, don't worry. We want to make fast food that's tasty, of course, because not a lot of people have time, so this is very easy to prepare. Oh, this came out the wrong end. It's dressed in lemon and a little bit of chilli. It's an honour to work here at the moment, so it's brilliant, and I can't believe that they've let me prepare these dishes and put trust in me, even though I haven't done this before, so it's amazing. How are you guys feeling? Are they good? Nice to meet you. See you later. What can I say? I'm a charmer. I used to be very aware of people staring, and of course it used to affect me because I thought, why are they staring at me? Why are they not staring at him? Or stuff like that. And of course, growing up with a family that's not got restricted growth, I always kind of felt the odd one out. You guys like crab, don't you? Yeah. They're more accepting now, and I feel like less people are staring in a malicious way. More people are staring in a, oh, that good on that lad, and let him have his dream.
All good here? Happy?
Yeah, happy. We sold a lot.
And nice. I mean, we're stressed. Or...
Nah,
Good,
I
yeah?
was cool, man. I was having chats with everyone. Working here with some top head chefs, it's been amazing. And of course, I've got to communicate with them and see what they do on an everyday basis. And it's definitely what I want to do. I definitely think I'm going to be wrapping up a present and a card for that guy that said I couldn't go on the course. I definitely think he's been the making of me, and I couldn't be more grateful for that, so thank you very much.
Bradwell in Derbyshire. A new day and a big moment in Mary's mission to bring fashion to women with dwarfism. Months in the planning, she's launching a campaign for better representation within retail.
Abby's here, everyone.
And Mary's rallied the support of other little women to take part in a street protest demanding change.
I would like one day that other designers, retailers, the high street become inclusive. Hey, Fatima! Look at her!
Hi, nice to meet you.
Today's a big gamble, with these little women willing to risk public scrutiny to raise awareness about an issue close to their hearts.
Putting ourselves out there in this public space at the gaze of the high street for the first time and not knowing what we were going to expect, not knowing how we were going to be perceived. We had no idea. Talk about the lion's den. How are we feeling? Great. Well, that was the most unenthusiastic great I've ever heard in my life. Right, how are we feeling? Great.
Sheffield city centre is like high streets right across the country, with retailers almost entirely focused on serving the average height consumer. Meaning women like Steph, Abby, Andrea, Charlotte, Fatima and Mary having to either adjust oversized clothes or shop in the kids departments. Mary's My Silhouette Matters Too campaign is here to change all that.
When I come down, I mean, this is a beautiful high street, but to some degree it means nothing to me because if not all of the shops, I know I can't access. So they're not speaking to me around design.
We should be able to walk into a shop and buy something that we want to buy rather than something that we're going to have to make do with because it's...
Yeah, that's it. Yes, that's the one.
Thankfully, the ladies' earlier fears about the public's reaction to their protest have not been realised.
The Sheffield crowd are really, really cool, supportive as well. They really understand and they agree with what we're campaigning, protesting about. What do we want? When do we want it? Now! God, I don't need a foghorn, do I?
Coming up, at the Edinburgh Fringe, Jamie is getting ready for his opening night.
It's now starting to hit the fact that it's a big thing being a dwarf and being the drag queen. There could be failure. And I think if she fails, what's the next move?
And Mary returns to her hometown. But will her fashion range launch be a hit or a miss with the locals?
When I lived here as a young girl, I was like a lot of jokes. So today, it'd be nice if I could turn it around.
Edinburgh, and after 10 years of crafting his act, Jamie John is introducing his one-woman show to the Fringe Festival for the very first time. A moment he hopes will be the making of his career.
There is debates out there that you shouldn't be using your height and things like that, but I sit there and go, why not? If you've got it, flaunt it.
Let me introduce the one and only Diamond Diva, Miss D.Q.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Edinburgh! Oh, you've come out in your masses this evening. I absolutely love it. There are parts of Miss DQ that do relate to my history of bullying and things, and it's things that she can say that I was never able to say.
You should have got your roots done before you come out, love. Jesus, look at them!
And I think it's her way of being able to say, way back when you bullied Jamie, look what's happened now.
He spent all day doing his hair and come out without it.
There were times where I would sit in my bedroom and say that I don't want to be a dwarf anymore. I want to be like that person. I don't want to be this person I am anymore.
I am what I am, and what I am needs no excuses.
With pushing for my dream, I'm not really thinking about what could happen to my body as I get older, because you only live once. I would rather die an aching, crippled man knowing that I've been able to achieve what I wanted to achieve. First show tonight was amazing. It really was amazing. Tonight, I feel proud of myself because I've done something different and I've entertained. I'm literally an emotional wreck. It was amazing, Mum. Yeah, I got a standing ovation at the end. I wanted to prove that anything is possible. It doesn't matter whether you've got a condition, whether it be a disability, whether it be growth, whether it be anything. If you want to do something, then do it. It's all good, it's all good. How you keeping, okay?
Huddersfield in Yorkshire is the birthplace of Mary Russell, making today something of a homecoming.
I can't believe it, I'm actually in Huddersfield, and this is the Packard Shopping Centre, a place that I used to come as a young child with my friends.
Mary's returned home to hold her very first pop-up shop event,
Here we go.
giving the Yorkshire public a sneak preview of her new fashion range, Magdalene, which she hopes to sell online.
When I lived here as a young girl, there was like a lot of mocking, I was like a lot of jokes. So, in the shadows, that still bothers me. So today, it'd be nice if I could turn it around and that I'm not but of jokes and that they see me as somebody that's really transitioned through her life. Do a mannequin pose. I just want to show Huddersfield, this is who I am now. This is my secret weapon that I've been working on. I didn't tell anybody, I didn't show anybody, and I just waited and left it till the end because I just wanted everybody to see what can be achieved when you really put sweat and guts into your work. So all my samples are what the girls are wearing. They're not on the finished fabrics and they haven't got their finished, but this has. So this was just to show everybody what Magdalene, the brand, is going to be all about. I don't feel really warm.
I feel empowered by it, especially people like stopping Mary to say, this is great, like it's positive. And I feel mainstream. I don't feel, I just feel playing part of it, yeah.
I love my photograph. I look amazing, don't you think?
I'm actually glad I chose Huddersfield to do my pop-up. I'm actually really, I think it's the best decision that was made. And they say things happen for a reason, and I think it was meant to be here at Huddersfield.
Yeah, that's good.
So these are my samples here that the ladies are wearing. When I first started on my journey, I was just like, I couldn't see none of this happening. What's that gonna look like? What's my pop-up gonna look like? What's my campaign? Everything was just so unclear because I self-doubted myself. Because I've experienced it now, because I've achieved it and still achieving, I now feel there's no stopping me now.
Let me get me back.
Oh! If I continue on this road that I'm going, why wouldn't London Fashion Week be attainable for somebody like me? To hell with the fact that I'm only 124 centimetres tall. That's irrelevant. It's about what I can bring and what I can design. That's what's important. Forget who's actually behind it, designed it all. Just look at those pieces that are going to be coming down that runway. That's what people should be looking at. Less about me, more about my designs. I can sit here now and say I can fully do this.
Next time on Little Britons, we meet the teenager on an 8-year medical journey to make himself taller. We find out how anxiety is stopping 5-year-old Nevaeh from speaking up in class. And we talk to the parents with dwarfism on a mission to find out if their young daughter has inherited their condition.